So February is Black History Month, and I want us to take some time over the next few weeks to highlight the unique experience of Blacks in this country. Not just their presence here, but more specifically, I want us to consider their faith journey. So over the next few weeks, we're going to explore the Black church within a multicultural kingdom. Now, honestly, that might sound contradictory to some, but I want you to understand the significance. There is a rich faith history for all believers to consider that rises purely and uniquely from that African-American experience. And it is only when you begin tracing that history that you discover the vibrant gospel witness that was originally brought here in chains, but now continues to shine brightly for Christ in African-American congregations across this country. And here's the deal, because that's not a value proposition over what is better or what is worse as some might perceive. It's just an acknowledgement of God's extraordinary grace showing up in the most unvalued places. Now, you might have the understandable question of simply, why does the Black church even exist? And maybe you even have a more probing question like, why would a multicultural church, which is actually a diverse integration of many races, why would it affirm any effort that seems to be defined by segregation? Well, the answer to that is simple. The Black church in America did not arise from casual preference. It was born from faith-filled perseverance. Some would argue that slavery was actually the vehicle through which Africans received the gospel from their slaveholders. But a closer examination of history reveals the rich heritage of African Christianity and shows the manner in which their existing faith was actually preserved despite enduring the evils of slavery. In other words, the reason the Black church exists is only because many of those enslaved Africans, torn from their homes, bound by chains, deprived of every measure of basic human dignity, it's only because they came to a single conclusion in response to their oppressive reality. They said, we're going to worship the Lord anyway. And that's exactly what they did. Private gatherings, according to oral history, sometimes in the dark of night, from plantation to plantation, they persisted amongst these newly enslaved people, desperately seeking to hold true to their spiritual identity. One author described it this way. He says this, work time already ran from sunup to sundown. Time for worship was taken from the brief period left for the personal needs of sanitation, sleep, food, child rearing. This spiritual nurture must have been highly treasured indeed to motivate the sacrifice of such limited and precious free time. See, the fact that these overworked and neglected people would leverage what little free time they had to take the life-threatening risk to prioritize worship is absolutely remarkable. And they did this primarily undercover, all while their captors would take another 100 years before they ever acknowledged that these Africans even possessed souls. See, understand, this truth is nothing short of convicting, especially for a culture of modern believers who in a context of our extreme opportunity, have reduced our access, our rhythm, our priority of worshiping God. We've reduced it to a matter of personal convenience. See, they weren't allowed to worship God, but they did anyway. And we have the freedom to worship God. And so often, we just don't want to. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think there's an awful lot for us to learn from the legacy of the Black church.